My name is Hannah, and at the age of 35, I believed my life was ordinary, even secure. I had a family, my husband Greg, the same age as me, and our 10-year-old son Ryan. Outwardly, we seemed like any normal family. I worked full time to provide stability, while Greg tried in his own way to contribute. And Ryan? Ryan was the bright star in my sky, a boy whose intelligence often surprised adults twice his age. He read articles online, asked me for my thoughts on world events, and questioned things far more complex than most children his age ever considered. But life has a cruel way of unmasking the truth. For years, Greg drifted between jobs, never able to hold one down. I worried, yes, but I hoped. And then, for a few brief years, he kept stable employment. It was enough for me to start believing again that perhaps our future as a family could be built brick by brick. Greg often spoke about memories, about family adventures, about not letting life slip by. When he suggested we buy a camper van, an expensive $35,000 one, I hesitated. But his words, his charm, and his sudden seriousness about family time softened my doubts. There was one problem. The finance company refused Greg. His credit history, his instability, everything about him screamed risk. And so the loan fell onto me, in my name. I signed the papers, convincing myself it was for the family, for Ryan, for the future we could still build. The day of delivery was supposed to be joyous. Instead, it was the day my world cracked apart. At work, an unexpected email notification appeared. It was from Greg. My hands trembled as I opened it. His words were cold, detached, and cruel. Since the loan is in your name, I'll be taking the camper. Naturally, you will handle the repayments. Confused, I called him immediately. When he answered, his voice carried none of the warmth of a husband, none of the concern of a father. Calmly, he confessed, "Hannah, I've fallen in love with someone else. At first it was a fling, but now I'm serious. I'm starting over with her. Goodbye." And with that, he hung up. The silence after that call was heavier than anything I had ever known. When I returned home, I searched frantically for the divorce papers we had once argued over in a heated fight. They were gone, taken, along with Greg, my security, and the man I thought I knew. My calls went unanswered, my emails ignored. For the first time, I truly understood betrayal. Ryan, my observant child, noticed the storm brewing in me. "Mom," he asked after dinner one evening, "why aren't you eating? And why hasn't Dad been home for days? Did something happen?" His eyes searched mine, sharp and unyielding. I tried to mask the truth, but children, especially Ryan, see through masks. With a heavy breath, I told him everything. He didn't cry. He didn't rage. Instead, he said softly, "It's just like Dad to do something like that. I kind of already knew." His words broke me. How could a child so young already carry such resignation? But in his heart, I knew he was hurting. Stress and grief became my shadow. One day at work, my legs failed me. My colleagues rushed to my side, but I collapsed. When I opened my eyes, I was staring at a white hospital ceiling, an IV drip in my arm. The doctor's voice echoed. Stress had ravaged my body and I needed immediate surgery. I felt pathetic, weak. But then Ryan burst into the room, his usually calm face painted with panic. "Mom, please tell me you're not going to die." I wiped my tears quickly and whispered, "Of course, not. I'll never leave you." His relief lit a fire in me. For him, I agreed to the surgery. A month passed in that hospital bed before I could return home. But home was no comfort. A letter waited in my mailbox, a demand for repayment of the car loan. My heart sank. I checked my bank account. Where once there had been $20,000, there was now only $33.90. Greg had emptied it. He had left me with debt, with no van to sell, with nothing. I wanted to despair, but Ryan wouldn't let me. "It's okay, Mom. I'll deliver newspapers. I'll look for work online. Don't give up." His small shoulders carried a strength far greater than his age. I smiled. Through my pain, promising myself I would not crumble. Then Ryan said something astonishing. "Let's plan how to get the car back from Dad." At first, I thought he was joking. But then he revealed a secret. Months earlier, during a family hike, he had pretended to get lost. We bought him a child's phone for safety, complete with GPS tracking. What Greg never realized was that Ryan had cleverly left access to Greg's location open. "I know where Dad is," Ryan explained. "We can find him." 3 days later, Greg himself called me in desperation. "Hannah, please. The police are questioning me about the van. They might make me go to the station. Help me." The arrogance he once carried was gone, replaced by fear. Ryan and I went to the location, an outdoor forest park. There he was, standing with police near the camper van, panic written across his face. I approached calmly, told the police this was a family matter, and they stepped back. Greg urged Ryan and me inside the van, and there she was, Mandy, his mistress, sitting smugly with crossed legs. I didn't flinch. I told him firmly, "I reported the van stolen. It's in my name. And since you filed for divorce, you're nothing more than a stranger driving a stranger's vehicle." His face drained of color. Reluctantly, he handed me the keys. Ryan looked at him, sharp as ever. "Dad, why did you abandon us?" Before Greg could answer, Mandy sneered, "Because I'm more attractive than your mother. Look at me. Obviously, he chose me." Ryan's voice cut her off. "Quiet. I asked Dad." Even Greg shrank under his son's steady glare. The truth unraveled quickly. Mandy was pregnant, but the timing betrayed her. The child wasn't Greg's. Her lies collapsed around her. At that very moment, her parents arrived, faces burning with fury. Ryan had already contacted them. The mistress who thought she held power now stood trembling before her own enraged family. Greg and Mandy began to argue, ugly words flying, but I no longer cared. The police returned, and this time I pressed forward. Greg pleaded, promised to change, but Ryan stood tall. "People like you don't change. You left us, you'll pay." And pay he did. Through legal means, I reclaimed the $20,000 he stole. The court ordered $500 monthly child support. I sold the camper van, clearing the loan. Greg was forced into steady work, his wages garnished until every cent was repaid. As for me, my health returned. My strength grew. Ryan, my brilliant boy, continued to surprise me with his resilience, helping with chores, encouraging me to stay strong. Together, we rebuilt our lives from the ashes of betrayal. This is not a story of loss, but of survival. Of a boy whose intelligence became our shield, and of a mother who refused to surrender. Betrayal tried to break us, but instead it forged us stronger. With Ryan by my side, I know we can face anything, anywhere, anytime. And so, our story continues, not defined by the man who left us, but by the bond that no betrayal can shatter. A mother and her son, standing together against the world.